So, this is my latest preheat find. Let's fire this thing up. Yep, another 4-foot, 4-tube preheat fixture. It's kind of like my other one with the curved sides, except for this one's slightly narrower. The end caps have these 3 lines forming a diamond. The starters are arranged in a line down the center instead of being in between every other lamp holder. Also, the outer tubes do not have slightly angled lamp holders. The ballast channel has a flat cover held on by these mouse ear spring-loaded twist clips instead of wing nuts on bolt studs. And the end caps are also aluminum. They look satin silver, but they came to me as white, but the paint was blistered and peeling so badly that I sprayed it with a hose to get most of it off. Some of it remains. And a heat gun only helped a little bit, not much. I may have to be very careful and use a torch to get the rest of this off, or maybe get some of that paint stripper gel. Paint thinner did nothing. Anyways, so basically the story is that last Sunday I couldn't shake the nagging feeling that I had to go to Urban Ore. And so I went there, took my dad's car, because my car's unplanned on-op right now, and this was there. I had to buy it. I knew I wasn't leaving the store without it. $6. Not bad, considering that I didn't even know if it worked. However, when I got it home, it needed some work. I put in tubes and starters, applied power, and nothing. So I popped the ballast channel open, find 2 obviously non-original universal rapid start ballasts that apparently also didn't work. So out those went, and I had to get some 2-lamp preheat ballasts. I cannibalized the giant Jefferson brick from that incomplete industrial you saw in one of my other videos. It's running the outer tubes right now, and amazingly enough, it fit the bolt studs perfectly and was completely parallel with the channel, unlike the rapid start ballast that it came to me with, which were slightly slanted. And for the inner tubes, I had to use a newer Valmont 2-lamp ballast, which, like the rapid start ballast, also a little bit slanted. And it runs a little bit hotter than the Jefferson. It also takes longer to start the tubes. And the tubes appeared maybe slightly dimmer, not by much. But either way, it's all preheat now, and it works. That's the important thing. So my story with these fixtures, my childhood summer camp had these exact same fixtures in some of the rooms, well, almost exactly the same. They were not preheat. They were not even rapid start. They were slimline with single pin tubes, plunger sockets, and they had both 4-foot and 8-foot versions there. And my dad works at UC Berkeley. I like to sometimes explore some of the older buildings, because one of my hobbies is exploring older institutional buildings, because I like the architecture, and also sometimes I can see older fixtures and other things there. And some of those buildings also have these. I think my two of my favorite buildings, Giannini and Hillgard Halls, had most of the ones that I've seen there. Yeah. Although no, my dad does not work in either of those buildings, but well, I used to sometimes like to explore the buildings when during the school days, because buildings are usually locked during the weekends. Although I think due to some regrettable incidents with some protesters, they've had to lock all the buildings now, which kind of sucks for me and my building exploring hobby. But safety is the #1 important thing for a place like a school, a place of higher learning. So it's understandable. Anyways, So this fixture has it originally, all the completed versions, all the ones at my summer camp were complete, and all the ones at Berkeley that were not in a hallway or a bathroom were also completed. Some of the ones in the bathrooms were and hallways were missing pieces, but there's supposed to be these curved plastic side panels on either side and a door frame on the bottom with a louvered grill. And it's kind of like a troffer door frame, except for it's a little bit longer, and so the louver or glass or plastic diffuser, which sometimes these also had to also be a little bit longer than the standard sheet diffuser size. And then all four corners had a latch. It wasn't just one side. And the latches fit into these oblong holes right here. Let's see, the black lamp holders were also my own addition. The original ones were white and had slightly brittle cloth wiring. So out they went. Though I saved them, they're still available if I need them. I want to find a door frame with a grill, as well as the two plastic side panels to complete this one, as well as for my other one. Or at least I know my other one's going to need the side panels. I hope to complete this and install it somewhere, because this fixture is just too good to keep lying around. It even came with mounting hooks, but the mounting hooks that were in it were a little bit wimpy and loose and shook around a bit inside of the holes, which were a bit too large, so I replaced them with larger ones. So if this thing, if I have some eye bolts and quick links bolted to some of the rafters in the ceiling, this thing will hang with ease. It'll be rock solid. And I suppose we can show you the starters that are in here. See, these are the ones at the top. And the ones at the bottom there we go. And before we finish the video, we got pretty much every conceivable end cap style from most of the recent mainstream tube brands, except for the crimped style seen on older brass enders and some imports. So, starting off, this is obviously made by GE. The etch even reads GE. It's not a rebranded GE. It's all rounded over with the notch and bug-eye insulators. Angled with a single rectangular insulator, obviously made by Philips, although Sylvania also used a similar one, except for it only had one punch-out instead of two, and it had a single notch instead of three. The etch on this one's a bit more generic, though. GTE Sylvania, and it's an older Sylvania with a square, more of a square-shaped end cap. And, of course, the timeless classic Westinghouse Black Ender, which matches the black lamp holders quite nicely. And that's this fixture, pretty much. Enjoy.